Hello guys, this is a demonstration of how to configure Samba on your Fedora machine. Please note here, I'm creating a Vagrant machine by using these settings, and also please take a look at this configuration which is connecting to the public network so that I can use this machine over the network. Now already have created a virtual machine and already have connected to it, and you can see here I'm connecting with the username Vagrant. Now the first task here is to install Samba server on your machine. To do this, I'm going to use sudo yum install Samba. It will take a second. Yes, please. So it is installing the Samba server on your machine. Depending on your internet connection, it might take a couple of minutes. Be patient. Okay, it seems like it is done. Now let's continue further and start configuring our Samba server. To configure it, I'm going to open a configuration file available at etc samba. It's smb.conf. So this is the file which will be used for configuring our Samba server. Now mainly I want to create a share using the Samba server, and this can be done by creating a section here inside this called as a share. Now there are a couple of parameters that we need to configure here. For example, let me go back here again and say the first thing is what I want to show to my user. I want to show something like, say this is going to be like my share. This is for user to know what kind of share that user is getting at. Now where in my directory the files are stored, I want to store them in /var/smb/share. Share. This is where the files will be stored when the user is going to use Samba and upload the files. I want this part to be writable, so writable is going to be yes. This is publicly available, so anyone can access it. It is browsable, so user can check the contents of it as well. I want to create the mask by using 0644, means the owner will have RW and other group and others will have only read properties or read permissions. Same goes for directory mask, which is going to be like 755. 7 is like all permissions for me as the owner. 55 will be read and execute for others and the group members. And finally, the write list is going to be like user. User is supposed to create the files there. So seems like my configuration is very simple here. I'm done with it. Now once you are done with it, we need to create a user to access that Samba server. Now I can do that by using sudo user add user2. I need to set the password for that user, so sudo it's passwd user2. Maybe I can set a small password test for that user to check, and then we need to use that user for the Samba server. To do this, I can say sudo smb passwd -a for append, and user2 is the user that I want to use. I'm going to use the password that my Samba server will be used for sharing the contents with our server. So the Windows machine will be using this username and the password in order to upload some files or getting some files from this machine. Now to do this, I'll have to first create that share. So probably I can say mkdir -p -var/smb/share. This is the file, this is the directory which we mentioned inside the smb.conf, that all the files will be uploaded in this location. So let's change the permission 777, so anyone will be able to upload the file or get the contents of it without having any permissions issue. And because SE Linux is configured on this machine, so I'll have to say se manage f context file context, like add, and the type, the type is for Samba share, Samba share underscore t, that is for SA Linux, for this directory slash smb slash share, and then we can go for all the files and the directories within it, dot star question mark, and it seems like we are done with that. So we have set the f context there, and finally we are going to say restore context for all files for /var slash smb slash share. That's it. So now my configuration is over. I want to start my server, and to do this I can say sudo systemctl enable to enable this, and if you want you can start this now by using -- now, but I don't want to do that. I will be starting it explicitly by using the start command. Okay, smb must have started. We can check the status of it by saying status, and the status shows it is active, it is running, and it has started successfully. Great. Now if I want to access this service out of this machine or over the network, I will have to configure the firewall as well. So we have to say firewall -cmd --add service. The service name here is Samba, and I want to add the configuration permanently. Once you are done, you have to restart your firewall by saying firewall -cmd --reload, and that is the configuration needed to use that Samba on the Windows machine over the network. Now let's check the IP address of this machine. IPADDR show, and it seems like the IP address of this machine is 192.168.1.89. So let's continue further here. I have the Windows machine here. Let us open the command prompt. Again, check if we can connect to that machine by using ping 192.168.1.89. I'm getting a reply from that machine, which means the machine is connectable here. And if it is getting connected, then I can simply use this Samba server to check the files shared by that server by using / the IP address of this machine, which is 192.168.1.89. It is asking me enter your username. We already have configured that user2, and the password is test. If you want, I can say the remember my credentials here, say OK, and I can see that the share has been kind of created for this user. Now there is nothing inside this directory yet, so what I'm going to do right now, maybe I can open my file explorer one more time. Maybe I can just go for opening it in the document, and inside the document let me create a new file. So this is my text document. I can say my document again. Let's open this and say this is the file created in Windows by Windows user, just for the confirmation that this file is created under Windows using by that Windows user. Now I can simply copy and paste it right inside that share. So this is like 192.168.1.89 share, and I can see that the file is already uploaded to that server. So if I come back to my machine, fedora machine, and if I go to the directory /var /var /smb /share, and if I say ls, I see that the file already exists here. If I see the contents of that file, it shows this file is created by Windows in Windows by Windows user. So you can see now we have created a maybe this fedora machine using a Samba server, which is helping the Windows machine to access all the files which I wanted to share from my fedora machine. So now there's these files, the ones which I put them. For example, if I create a new file here, let's say new underscore file .txt, and if I open, for example, and if I say this file is created by fedora, just for understanding of it. So if I come back to my Windows and if I say quick refresh, I would see that new file is now there, and if I double click on that, it will open this and shows this file is now created by fedora, which means now Windows and Linux, they can share the files with each other. So this is a small demonstration of how do we configure that Samba on your fedora machine. Thank you guys.